going to give you this mic back. But what I'm going to say to the ladies that have been told that you cannot have, you tell the devil you're a liar.
Bueno. ¿Qué lo que mi gente? Welcome to my universe. Welcome back to my universe. Welcome back to another podcast. So today I'm going to be responding to an email that I received recently. Girl, you are lucky because typically when I receive an email, I don't even catch it right away. And I don't typically respond as soon as I would like to, for reasons that I'm not even going to go into. But I did fix my notification settings so that I can see notifications from this email address. And I did see your email. So yes, girl, or if you are a girl, I don't even know because I didn't read your email yet, but I'm going to respond to your email. Before I do get started with that, I did want to say to the people who have been writing to me that I did create a Discord server. Yes, girl, yes. So I would like to open that up to people who have written to me and people who I believe are actually going to join the Discord and contribute and share whatever advice or insight that you have with everybody else. So send me an email if you would like to join the Discord group. If you have the Discord app or if you're able to download it, just send me an email and I'll share the link with you. Of course, I ask that you do not share the link with anybody else. Otherwise, I will have to kick you out and I will kick the person that you invited out because I don't know who that is. Okay. So yes, I will have more information in the description box. So make sure to check that location and also just send me an email, like I said, and I'll send you the link so you can join. Bueno. All right, so I'm going to read your email. I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are. Wow, this looks like this is this is pretty long. So I think I'm just going to read it and then I'll respond to it after the fact. You did say you sent me a key, like on a map there's a key so you understand which symbols mean what. You said that your mom is your biological mother. The person you refer to as papá is your biological father, tu padre. Pero mamá is another word that you have here. So you made a distinction between who your mama is, which is the person you consider your quote unquote real mom, but that's not the person who birthed you. And you said mommy C, the person you refer to as mommy C is your biological mother's sister. So your aunt, mommy C is your actual aunt. And you said that your aunt had a part in raising you. Bueno, so it says, I just turned 16 and I am living in Colorado. I really want to get emancipated because of emotional abuse and trauma. I'm afraid that if I were to stay longer than I need, then I wouldn't be the person that I could be or the best person that I could be. Bueno, I understand that because I'm a much better person now than I was before. Anywho, so it says, my mom has never really been a great mom, quote unquote, per se. When my brother and I were younger, she apparently left my biological father for another man. I don't know the true story behind it because everyone tells me something different, but I know how she is, so I believe the story Papa told me, that your biological father told you. Okay. It says, somehow I ended up in the care of my aunt and her wife at just a couple of months old, and I grew up with them. The whole reason my mom never, quote unquote, came back for me was because my grandmother didn't let her, and she just didn't really seem to want to be involved for a while, or so I think. From my point of view, I was raised wonderfully with a whole other family that wasn't my biological one. They made me feel the best I could feel. I was comfortable, I was safe, and I was learning a lot of good things. I made a ton of great memories with that family, and they made me feel welcomed and at home, which was something I was never able to feel with my biological family, who constantly reminded that the family I loved so much wasn't blood. Okay, so it sounds like your mom and your dad, your biological parents, wanted to remind you not to get attached to your aunt and your aunt's wife because they weren't your blood family. No say. It says, I loved my childhood and my life with mama. Mama is the person you considered your real mom, but not your aunt, because she raised me. She did everything she could to give me the best life I could possibly have. Mommy C, who is your aunt, was somehow involved with quote unquote raising me, but most of my memories and important lessons are with mama. But like every good thing, my family ended. Mommy C, which is your aunt, decided to cheat on Mama, her wife, with another woman, and she left us just like that. So your biological aunt, your biological mom's sister, cheated on your aunt, or the woman she was married to, with another woman. Since the woman she was married to isn't your biological relative, then you probably don't have any ability to stay with her, because she's not related to you. But I mean, if she's willing to take you in, there's hope. So let me keep reading. Anywho, it says immediately after mom, my biological mom, heard that mommy C, her sister, was no longer living with us, she took the action to try to get me back in her custody. By this time, I was around 12 years old, and me and mama were still in the process of healing from the year before. Oh, so you still lived with your aunt's wife who got cheated on. Okay. Mom, your biological mom, came up one day and asked if I would take a trip with her, and I agreed because it was only going to be for a while. I hoped that I could get along with my siblings and hopefully get my mind off of the pain. During the trip, she told me that she just moved in a block away and that if I felt lonely or depressed, that I could always move in and I'd be with all of my siblings and I'd be happy. During that conversation, I told her I wanted to die. I'm sorry to hear that, girl. I guess that was my way of asking for attention, which mama did give me, but somehow I still felt lonely. She then kept telling me how great of an idea it would be, and I took it. What? It says she then kept telling me how great of an idea it would, and I took it. She told me that I could see mama whenever I wanted and all kinds of other lies just to get me to go back with her. So when we came back, I packed my things and I left. I didn't give it too much thought. Well, you were 12. You were easily influenced. It says, I visited mama every week and every day that I could, and I soon started to realize how much different things were and how much I missed being home. Home as in with your aunt's wife. Bueno. It says, I started to regret my decision because my biological mom was nothing like mama, your aunt's wife. She would yell at me for crying. She would threaten to take one of the only types of communication I have to mama if I didn't do something right. She would call me names, humiliate me in front of family and friends. Mom was nothing like mama. And it seems like it would get worse now that I'm older, or it seems like it gets worse now that I'm older. It says she continues to humiliate me and give me responsibilities that I feel are too much. I still can't really go to her for anything, and I still can't cry. I'm just starting to get really tired of having to lie for her when it comes to men and other affairs. Oh Lord have mercy, child. It says she's currently married to her fourth husband. Child, fourth husband. How old is she? If she's only in her 40s and she's on her fourth husband, Lord. Bueno, it says she's currently married to her fourth husband, who I know she's cheating on him with another man. Lord have mercy. I know this doesn't really need to be said, but it's part of why I'm so frustrated. Along with the humiliation, lack of emotional support, and emotional abuse, she also has put a lot of stress on me. Since my youngest brother was born, I have been the one caring for him. That's what I expected, because she's never home. It put a lot of stress on me having to watch an infant for 12 plus hours a day for 11 months now. I understand she works, but she could have found someone. The job she works isn't enough to support all 6 of us. I've told her many times she could find a better one, but her excuse is they give me more time off. Which, girl, she don't need more time off. She needs more money. She doesn't need more time off so she can go find somebody else to cheat with. She needs to go get another job, okay? Which she doesn't. It says, I've told her many times she could find a better one, but her excuse is that they give me more time off, which she doesn't even spend with us because she's always out doing who knows what, right? Doing somebody else, right. I catch you, girl. It says we also hardly ever see her because she works nights. All right, my dad worked nights too. And although we tell her day shift would be better for her, she could spend time with us, she insists that working those hours is better for her. Mom supports us with a home, your biological mother. Okay. We get our grocery money from food stamps, and sometimes we get snacks when we ask, but she's not there for us. I feel like I do so much and for nothing because she calls me useless, worthless, a bitch. Oh no, girl. Oh no. She calls you a bitch. Her biological daughter is a bitch. Well, guess what? It takes a bitch to know a bitch. So if you are a bitch, guess what? Your mom is a bitch too. She is the grand bitch. Okay? Because you came out of her. Anywho, let me stop. It says, I feel like I do so much and for nothing because she calls me useless, worthless, and a bitch, and so much more. I'm sorry to hear that. You're not a bitch, girl. Don't even internalize that. It says, I've been feeling really alone and hopeless and afraid for my future because I don't feel at home. I don't feel comfortable or anything, not even safe. I'm glad I have this relationship with my siblings, but nothing compares to being home with mama. Through this whole thing, I go to see mama as many times as I can when I'm not watching the baby or when I get to sneak off after work or school. I wish there was a way I could move back in with her where I know I'll be able to grow and be the best person I can be. But because my mom is really against me going back home, she wouldn't allow it no matter how many times I've talked to her. Everyone keeps telling me I should wait the rest of the 2 years that I have now that I'm 16, but I mentally cannot anymore. I'm the worst I've ever been, and I know what I want and what's best for me. So I think this is the best way to go because she's so selfish and everyone around her is destroying me literally. Please let me know what you think and ask anything that I didn't make clear. I would really like it if you would reply. Thank you. Oh, so it didn't seem that long after I read it. Um, you know what? I don't think that this is that hard of an equation to solve because of the fact that you actually have somebody who cares about you. Your mama, the wife of your aunt, your biological mom's sister, sounds like she does really care about you. It sounds like she has left the door to her home open for you, despite the fact that you no longer live with her. My main question is who has custody of you? Because based on what I just read, it sounds like your aunt had custody of you. And then when you were 12, your mom talked you into going to live with her, probably so that you could be a full time and live in babysitter. And it sounds like you just packed your bags and went with her. But who actually has custody of you? Did your mom have custody of you when you were living with your aunt? If so, how did that work? How is it that you were able to grow up with her for the past 12 years and your mom never took you from that woman's custody? I would figure out, or I would just like to know rather, who has custody of you. Because if your custody agreement is still with your aunt, then that sounds like you can pick up and go live with your aunt. It sounds like you should get on the phone and work with your mama, your aunt's wife, and or your aunt if she can be trusted, and come up with a plan to get you to stay over there. And the reason I say that is because there are 6 of you. You said that there are 6 children that your mom has. Your mom is not making enough money alone to care for all of you. She cannot provide more than shelter, which is why you guys are using food stamps and other things to get by. So if you were to go live with your aunt, it sounds like it would alleviate your mom of just some responsibility and some stress, but it would also probably force her to actually step up to the plate and be an actual mother. And I think that that is what she needs to do because those children did not come out of you, they came out of her. And I experienced the same thing, which you may know if you watch my videos, or if you read my poetry collection, Things I Never Said. Go find it on Amazon, y'all. Go ahead, go read the description links, okay? But yes, if you are familiar with my story in any type of way, then you may know that I went through the same thing. I was raising kids since I was like 7 or 8 years old. I was taken from my foster home. I was brought back, or not, I mean, I didn't remember these people, but I was reunited with my biological family and I was brought up north. And my dad assigned kids to my two older sisters and to myself. And he said, "You guys are going to take care of these kids. I better not hear your mom ever complain to me that you're not doing your job, taking care of them correctly." So, yes, you heard me right. He made these kids, my younger siblings, my job. And from the age of like 7 or 8 years young, I was raising kids, like rushing home after school to take care of the kids like I was some type of single mom. Girl, let me tell you, if you're not a single mom, let them kids be raised by somebody else because that's not your responsibility. And everybody has a life of their own that they have to take agency over and that they have to live for themselves. Your mom had these kids, you did not have these kids. It's not your responsibility to take care of them. It doesn't matter if those are your siblings. I wish people would understand this more. It does not matter if those are your siblings. If you are a kid, there's hardly anything you can do for another kid because why? You're both kids. So I understand, especially when you're an empathetic person, that you feel the need to stay there and do whatever you can because you care about those children. I cared about my siblings too. But you know what? By the time I was 15, I got tired of those kids looking me in my face and disrespecting me. I got tired of them calling me out of my name. I got tired of chasing them up and down the street because they kept leaving the house unannounced and going to the park or going across the street to play with other kids. I got tired of the stress that it caused me to be caring for all these kids, like again, like I was a single mother. That's not what I was supposed to spend my teenage years doing. That's not what you're supposed to spend your teenage years doing. So, if I were you, I would definitely pursue emancipation and I would definitely talk to your aunt's wife and your aunt, if she can be trusted, of course, and devise some sort of plan for you to put yourself back in her custody. I really think you should look into that. Now, with emancipation in your state, it's possible that if your mom says no, then you're not permitted to go further with the emancipation. I don't know. You need to search up Colorado emancipation laws because every state has a different set of laws. In some states, you are still able to go through with the emancipation even if your parents say no. Where's your dad? Where's your, you said that you mentioned your papa in the middle, or excuse me, in the beginning of this email, but you didn't say very much else about him. Where is he? Because they would be obligated to show up to the courthouse um, during this petition. And if they didn't, that may help your case. Or if they did, and if they said no, that may hinder it. One more thing that I advise you to do is tell your mom, or at least like put it out there at some point in time, that your mom is better off letting you go. Live with your aunt, live with your mom, I mean, your aunt's wife, your mama, and what have you, as opposed to forcing you to stay there. Because I don't know if you should say this like this, but one thing I told the mediator who was appointed to me during the emancipation process and what have you, is that my father is better off letting me get emancipated. Otherwise, all the kids will be taken away. That's not a threat. That's literally just me telling the truth. I could have told the judge so many things about what my parents had done to me and about what my parents had done to other kids. I witnessed my mother, my biological mother, throw a TV at her eldest son's head when he was laying down on the ground and he said something to her that she took offense to. She literally pushed the TV off of the table and it hit him in the head. He could have died right then and there because of the trauma, the blunt trauma forced to his damn head. I witnessed all kinds of crazy, traumatic, painful things happen to my siblings. And of course, there were the things that happened to me, like my mother stomping on my head until I was unconscious and bleeding. My blood was literally on the wall in her bedroom for the entire time that we lived there because they didn't allow me to clean it off. So my blood was on the floor and my blood was on the wall in her bedroom. I could have shared all those kinds of incidents with the judge. And the reason I did not is because I was advised by my lawyers not to. My lawyers told me that if I shared that information, it would open up an investigation and those kids would probably be taken away because I would be giving them the evidence that they need or the testimony that they need to declare my parents unfit to raise their children. Now, you could share that with your mother. I don't know exactly how you want to go about doing that. Again, I had a mediator pass on the message. I had the lady tell my father, listen, you either let me get emancipated or all your kids are getting taken away and you can deal with that shit on your own. Because I was savage enough. I absolutely wanted to get out of that circumstance. I was tired of being incapable of killing myself because of the fact that I really didn't actually want to die. Like I used to be in the bathroom crying my eyes out, holding a bottle of bleach, literally, I kid you not, trying so hard to drink it, but I could never bring myself to because I'm an overthinker and I would overthink and I would think, okay, what if I don't drink enough? What if I'm still alive? What if it takes me to the hospital, but I'm still alive? What if it doesn't work out right? What if I don't really kill myself? Then what am I going to do? I used to overthink and I think it really, my spirit was just not ready to die. My spirit didn't want me to harm myself because as depressed as I was, I understood that when other people hurt you, the solution is not to hurt yourself too. You have to treat yourself better to counter all of the negative energy that's being thrown your way. So I could never kill myself. And once I realized, at age 14, 15, that I wasn't going to do that, I had started working. I finally got approved for a job and I started saving my money and I started realizing that I was a much better person away from the custody and the supervision of my biological parents who were really controlling and I would say honestly unfit to be parents. Like they should have never been parents, but whatever. I'm here. All the other kids are here. It is what it is. You're here. All your other siblings are here. Y'all are not going back into the womb. This is your life. Now it's time for you to start really thinking about what you want it to look like and who you want to be surrounding you and embracing you. It sounds like your mom and her situations with her boyfriends and stuff is a hot ass mess. If I were you, I would focus on working, like actually making some money and also devising some type of plan to get yourself in a better situation because you can do more for your siblings. You can do more for yourself once you have something of your own. I was just telling somebody in my life this, that, as long as your parents own your car, your parents pay your phone bill, your parents pay for your car insurance, your parents pay for your food and your shelter, you don't own nothing and you don't have nothing. And you have no reason to complain because of the fact that you can't do anything for yourself. You may feel like you have too many responsibilities on you, but I'm sure your mom feels like she has even more responsibilities than you because she has 6 kids to be responsible for. She has a house and bills to be responsible for. I do think that if you could go live with your aunt's wife or your aunt, whoever, then you may be helping her because that would be one less mouth that she would need to worry about feeding. And I mean, what happens with your siblings is not your fault. What happens to your siblings is directly the fault and the responsibility of your mother who pushed them out of her vaginal canal. So yes, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think that you're very smart and it sounds like you already know what you need to do. You said that everyone keeps telling you should wait until you're 18 to just leave. But if you don't have any house or any shelter right now, well, are you going to by the time you're 18? Because if you don't, then you'll be feeling exactly the same way that you feel right now once you turn 18. There's this myth in our society that once you turn 18, you're all of a sudden ready. You're not. You're still a kid. When you turn 18, you're going to feel the same way that you felt the day before when you were 17. You don't become 18 and become ready for life. You really just don't. So I would consider working, saving up some money, and building your case and capturing your evidence and writing down these testimonies. Like, practice writing your petition and also do some research. Search for free or pro bono, pro as in PRO, a space, and then the word bono, BONO, lawyers near me. Search for that. Make sure there is a firm. Make sure it's reputable. See who's sponsoring that agency if you can. See if you can search up any other cases that that firm has won, so you can make sure it's legitimate and that you're not throwing yourself in the position to be taken advantage of by some random scammer who's pretending to be a lawyer. Something else that I advise you to do is talk to your mama, talk to your aunt's wife, and ask her, like, if you ever needed to just run away, would she take you in? Or if she's, in a place where she doesn't want to get in between your mom and your aunt and all that kind of stuff. You should find out if she's willing to be an ally for you, so that you know that if so that if stuff ever hits the fan, you can go to her. Because it sounds like you're not in a safe environment. It sounds like you are in an abusive environment. And I mean, if my mom wants to call me a bitch, I would tell that bitch you're a bitch too. So, oh girl, let me stop. I was just about to say so much stuff that's disrespectful as hell. But it's just because I have no tolerance and no patience for people who want to benefit from my presence, but then belittle me and disrespect me as if I'm not helping their life be a little bit easier. You're not going to call me no type of bitches and hoes, but then have me raising your damn kids. You can raise your bitch ass kids then, if I'm such a bitch. That's how I feel. But that's because I have too much respect for myself. Some may call it pride. I don't care. You could call it that too. I have too much respect for myself to put my shit and my life on the line for somebody who doesn't respect me. And there's a problem with some people who become parents. They're not fit to be parents. They should have swallowed their kids instead of having them. But that's besides the point. There are some people who push kids out into this world, and they really need to have all their kids taken away. They really need to be sterilized and not have any more children, because they are god awful people. And it sounds like your bitch ass mother, yes, I said your bitch ass mother, sounds like she's one of those god awful people who should have just been hopping from penis to penis to penis instead of having all these damn kids that she doesn't want to care for and is too broke to care for. Her bitch ass needs to get her shit together and stop inviting all these men to come through the home, especially if she's going to cheat on them and not even be smart enough to conceal that shit so that you aren't able to see through it for yourself. It's a shame. It's pathetic. But once you recognize that the shit is a shame and that it is pathetic, all you can do is remove yourself. Okay? All you can do is start planning a life that is better and healthier for you. And then once you can visualize it, you got to go get it. Don't wait for anybody to give you the heads up. Don't wait for anybody to tell you what to do. Just go get it. Go get it. Go get the life that you deserve. You're 16 years young. You should be skill building right now. Skill building. You should be learning how to do so many things instead of taking care of all these damn kids like they are your own. So I would say, now that you know, now that you've heard from me, that's just one form of advice that you can consider. Don't take my word for it, because I'm not you, girl. I don't know how you feel. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know exactly what it's like to be in your shoes. All I know is what my testimony was. And if you read my poetry collection, if you've watched any of my other videos, if you continue to support, if you stick around and you see all the other stuff that I have coming out, if you join a Discord group, then I don't know, it may become more obvious to you that I was dealt a pretty shitty hand of cards. I was dealt a pretty bad and unfortunate series of events from the very beginning of my life, but I prospered and I overcame it. And I'm tired. I've been tired for a while, but I'm grateful more than anything else. I'm grateful because I persevered, and I am just one more example in this world that you can persevere. That your current situation is not your final destination. So don't get stuck there, girl. Keep your head up. Keep your head up, and thank you so much for writing me this email. Thank you for sharing your story. The fact that you found me means you're on the right path and you're on the right track. So I support you and I salute you, girl. Keep your head up. All right, and on that note, I will say tata mi amores. Take care.
Gonna give you this mic back. But what I'm gonna say to the ladies that been told that you cannot have, you tell the devil you's a liar.